Since its founding in 1963, Oasis of Hope has been a leader in alternative cancer treatments and has championed the immune system's healing power over cancer. And people from all over the world have come to Oasis of Hope looking for a patient-first process and alternatives to chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. I'm joined today by Dr. Francisco Contreras and the hospital's CEO, Daniel Kennedy. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Dr. Contreras, I want to start with you. Let's go right to the moment someone finds out. Someone today is waking up to a cancer diagnosis. What's the most important thing they should do? What's the first thing?
The first thing is to inform themselves, because we tend to make decisions based on fear and the fact that, I got cancer, now I'm dead. Once you have information, you can make much better decisions that will provide you with a much better outcome. And that way you can choose whatever therapy fits your needs, not the doctor's needs. So that's why we wrote this book, The Art and Science of Undermining Cancer, so that persons that have cancer, patients that have cancer, can make much better decisions into what treatments to take.
Doctor, I want to key in on that word, undermining. Can you define what you mean by that?
Well, cancer is a formidable foe. And if you believe that you are going to be resolving it with chemo, radiation, and surgery, you are wrong. And that's what the statistics show. Every year, more people die of cancer than the year before, in spite of all of the research that has been done. So that's why I feel very, very strongly that information has to be given, so that we use many ways and many angles to undermine cancer so that the therapies can be more effective.
When you mentioned the people dying from cancer, I mean, we're hearing from the American Cancer Society that, cancer deaths year over year have been going down over the past 20, 30 years. Are you talking about a specific type of cancer or a different region? Elaborate on that.
What they're talking about is relative results. When you look at the absolute death rate, every year more people die of cancer than the year before. And that's the ultimate measure. We can talk about surrogate results, and yes, we have made some improvements in that, but the death rate has been rising every year for the last 50 years since Nixon declared the war on cancer, and that's very unfortunate.
And if you go to the American Cancer Society website and you see their facts and figures, what you will see, in fact, is that the number of people dying from cancer every year is increasing. The number of people being diagnosed with cancer is increasing. What they like to talk about is that cancer is more survivable now than it was 50 years ago. But they will point out, and they're very truthful, so this is useful information, that survivability is not because of improvements in treatment, it's because of early detection. So more people are having cancer colon screenings than ever. They've done really well in raising awareness for screenings, but we wrote this book, The Art and Science of Undermining Cancer, to help people that already have cancer in later stages. And it's been my privilege to research and write books with Dr. Contreras. And one of the things that he says that I really keyed into, he says, fear is the fuel of cancer. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I got into all the research papers, and what I found is that when you are full of fear, it depresses your immune system. So there's a science called psychoneuroendocrinology, that your thoughts actually translate into a physical reaction. So negative emotions and things even like anger and not forgiving others depress the immune system. Your immune system really is the best fighter of cancer. So if it's not working well, you're more susceptible to cancer. So for me, that's really been rewarding to work at Oasis of Hope with Dr. Contreras, an oncologist that actually embraces the spiritual and the emotional health of a patient.
And you're talking, a lot about things that most doctors don't talk about. They talk about the body, and you're talking about the body, the mind, and the spirit as well. And I notice a lot of faith is in this book and in your organization. Why is that?
Because the power that our spiritual fortitude can give to our emotions will improve significantly the power of your immune system. And it's actually your immune system that is the one that's going to be keeping you alive rather than chemo or everything else. It's important to destroy tumor mass, but what's more important is for your immune system to be up to par, and that is what determines longevity. And so spirituality and emotionality is the most important factor in improving your longevity as far as cancer is concerned. That's why, for us, an integrative approach and a holistic approach is the way to treat cancer. And for that reason, our results are so much better than just about any other oncological center in the world.
Well, they do say laughter is the best medicine, and it makes sense that a good attitude would be a part of that. What about prevention? I mean, can we get to a point where this can be prevented, cancer just being gone?
There is a plethora of research that shows that if you consume 5 portions of fruits and vegetables a day, that you will reduce the risk of developing cancer by 50%, and that if you exercise 4 hours a week, that you will reduce the incidence of cancer by 50%. So if you combine those, definitely cancer is preventable. And if on top of that, you are spiritually strong, then the possibility of you surviving without developing cancer are very good.
And Daniel, you've done some extensive travel, learning about mental and physical health. What are some of the best practices you've taken from those travels?
One thing that I found by visiting and speaking to researchers at the World Health Organization in Geneva and the Max Planck Institute in Germany, and we've also spoken to professors in New Delhi in India and Beijing, and what we find is that cancer is absolutely genetic, but only 5 to maximum 10% of all cancers are caused by inherited genes. The gene mutation that's happening because of poor lifestyle choices is actually causing more cancer. So just because you have a cancer gene doesn't mean that you will get cancer.
Correct.
You have so much power through your lifestyle decisions to really prevent cancer or reverse cancer if you have it. And I would say that that was our motivation for writing The Art and Science of Undermining Cancer. People are perishing because that message isn't out there. The message that's out there is that it's all about the genes. Well, what about everything that you can do to turn cancer genes off?
That's a fascinating stat that only 5 to 10% of those genes, those inherited genes, are the ones that are mutated and end up being cancerous. Finally, this sounds like this is a book that a lot of people are going to want to pick up. Are there guides and tips in here to help people? I mean, is there certain foods to eat or what to do? Or is it a self-help book?
Definitely. We provide a tremendous amount of information on lifestyle, on top of the many treatments that are available that people don't know, and that way you can choose the best treatment for you if you have cancer. But the amount of information to prevent cancer is tremendous in this book as well.
And where can people get more information beyond the book?
Well, please visit us at oasisofhope.com, and we talk about these things and give resources. But we also have a big button you can push, and we'll send you a digital copy of our book for free today if you visit us at oasisofhope.com. And this book, we wrote it for our patients, but every patient comes with a family member. And so our goal is not only to help people overcome cancer, but we want to empower you to protect your family from future incidents of cancers.
Sounds like somebody's going to be picking that book up today. Get to that website and click on that big button. Dr. Contreras, Mr. Kennedy, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much.
Anything you heard there sparks the desire to learn more? You can do that at oasisofhope.com. We'll be right back.